All right, Lakers Nation. It looks like the Lakers will be going into the playoffs without Luka Doncic and without Austin Reaves. The Lakers' two best players throughout the entire season. The players that have had the most volume on their teams and things of that nature. Um, the guys that lead the team in scoring. The two most important players for the Lakers are literally going to go into the postseason questionable to even play at the start of the playoffs. After the Lakers just had a absolutely phenomenal run the last month and a half. I mean, they've been playing phenomenal basketball since they finally got healthy and they got a little chemistry down together. And Luka Doncic has been playing like the MVP of the NBA. The OKC game really just messed up a lot of stuff. And it wasn't just like the blowout. I ain't gonna say nobody cares because some fans actually take that type of stuff serious. But at the same time, OKC obviously is a very good team and they won that game. But the most important thing for us was Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves literally are hurt. They are hurt right now and they will not be with the team at the start of the playoffs more than likely. Austin Reaves was diagnosed with a grade 2 oblique strain. And according to Shams Charania, let's go ahead and hop into, let's see this report by Shams right quick. And now I'm going to hop into y'all's questions and comments in a little bit. But what's good with y'all, man? As y'all coming in, guys, y'all be sure to drop a like on the stream, man. Subscribe if y'all are new, bro. This is devastating, chat. This is like that OKC loss. I wasn't even worried about that loss. Like, only thing I was worried about was how long will Luka be out? That was the only question. And now today, we seen, if you were watching the game, you seen Austin grabbing his back I ain't gonna say the entire first half, but like probably midway through the first quarter, he started like grabbing his back and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, if your back is hurting, go sit down. But see, it's so many idiots on social media and the whole narrative of if a team is getting blown out and a player gets hurt out of nowhere, that means that they're faking, because some of these idiots have never even touched or organized sport in their entire life and they don't understand how that stuff works. So these players feel like they have to stay in these different games and force themselves to play through these situations because they don't want to get looked at a certain way by the media and stuff like that. Now, certain players don't care. Like Anthony Davis, he obviously doesn't care. But there are certain players that cares about stuff like that. You got Luka Doncic. He's an MVP candidate. I'm thinking like he's of the mindset, okay, if we're getting beat this bad, I'm going to stay in the game and I'm going to try to figure this out. Or I'm going to play it out. I'm just going to lose. I don't care if I'm hurt. If I'm a little bit hurt, like in the first quarter, I think he kind of tweaked his hamstring a little bit. And he probably should have just went to go sit down from there. Like, I know the Lakers were getting smoked in that game. But you got to think about it. Like, if he wasn't actually hurt and he went to go sit down in that situation, people would have been saying all types of stuff. You already had Stephen A. Smith on national television just yesterday or day before yesterday, whatever it was, talking about how Luka Doncic was faking his injury because they were losing so bad. Bro, what? Even if they do lose that game bad, Luka has been playing so well and the Lakers have been playing so well as a team as of late. It doesn't even matter. Why does he have to fake that injury? It's no logical sense behind most of the stuff he says. But according to Shams Charania, y'all probably already read this, but Lakers Austin Reaves is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with the grade 2 oblique injury. I said strain, but it's an injury. I don't know exactly I don't know if it's a strain. I don't know if it's like I don't know exactly what it is, but they said it's a grade 2 oblique injury. Devastating run of injuries to LA's two leading scorers, Reaves and Luka Doncic, are expected to be sidelined to begin the NBA playoffs. So it's looking like Austin and Luka will not be available for the Lakers at the beginning of the playoffs. Now, let me go ahead and hop into y'all's questions and comments right quick, man. I was gonna go live earlier, chat, but I'm not gonna lie. I was really tuned in to that Nuggets game. The Nuggets and Spurs, that was a good game. And that hurt the Lakers as well, because now the Lakers have to win games. If they don't win 4 of their last 5 games, and Denver wins their last couple games, they will not be the 3rd seed. Which at this point, I don't even know if it matters that much, because if you're not gonna have Luka and Austin, like, does it really matter what seed you are? I don't think the Lakers can be any team without those two players. Because it will be a little bit different for me. I don't know. Who knows? If Braun taps back into his 2018 type of mode, then at that point there will obviously be, if in my opinion, there's no argument for who the greatest player of all time is. I think LeBron is the greatest player of all time. And I don't really think it's a debate for that. But if you have a 41-year-old LeBron carry, I don't care what team they play against in the first round. If they play against the Timberwolves, the Rockets, the Nuggets, which I don't think is likely, especially if you play against like a team like Denver. Like if you play Denver in the first round, which is probably not likely unless you finish third and they finish fourth, which could still possibly happen, I think. I don't think you beat Denver without Luka and Austin in the first round. I don't think you beat Minnesota without Luka and Austin in the first round. And it's questionable to even beat Houston because of the defensive matchups and the guys that'll be able to match up against LeBron. And those same primary defenders, some of their better defenders that they have on their teams, would have been guarding Luka or Austin. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron would be being guarded by the third best player in most scenarios, and then you would have their first or their best defender guarding LeBron the entire time. So, and the Lakers just aren't deep enough, in my opinion. When it comes to the depth of their team, that's not their superpower. That's not their strength. Some teams have that luxury to have good star players, but extremely good depth. And I think that the Lakers are not one of those teams. You know, they got some good role players on their team, but I don't think they're deep enough as a team to be able to outplay some of these other very, very good Western Conference playoff teams without Luka and Austin. So who knows? Maybe a miracle will happen, and maybe they'll heal up and they'll be ready for the start of the playoffs. Who knows? I mean, that would be a miracle at this point. But hey, man, I've seen crazier things happen. Players heal up all the time when it comes to playing the Lakers. So, you said we are cooked, brother. Yeah, we might be cooked, bro. Lakers have the worst luck, and this is exactly what the haters wanted. Yeah, Shamir, it is, because believe it or not, it's still absolute idiots saying that the Lakers have players on their team faking injuries. They're saying Austin Reaves is faking an injury. Bro, how can you fake an MRI report? How can you fake something that has been revealed by an MRI, by medical doctors going through the NBA and things like that? How can you reveal that, bro? Right? And then on top of that, you literally seen both of them get hurt during the game. Like, if you were watching the game, unless you're blind or you just can't see, or you just, I don't know, maybe your brain doesn't work correctly. I don't know how you did not see Austin Reaves holding literally the left side of his back area the entire, like, from the middle of the first quarter all the way into the end of the first half. He was holding that area. And I think he actually went back to the locker room for a second. Now, I don't know exactly what they did when he went back to the locker room, obviously, but obviously he felt like he was okay enough to play. And maybe I feel like in those different scenarios like that, you should just go sit down. Bro, you're not winning that game. You're down by 30 against OKC, and OKC, you're not winning that game, bro. Just go sit down and just try to stay healthy for the most important thing, which is the playoffs, because you have a lot more winnable games coming up. If you don't beat OKC, you still have a significant chance to be the third seed in the Western Conference. And I just feel like they kind of overreacted, and I felt like they were like, I'm not going to say they were scared. I could be completely wrong on this. I'm not saying I'm right on this. Don't quote me on this. But it feels like a lot of players feel like they have to stay in games or stay in different situations because they don't want to feel like flack from the media saying that they're not tough or they're faking or, you know, just weird activity from people that never even played organized sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's annoying, bro, because there are actually people thinking these guys are faking, and no, they're not, right? So I feel bad for Bron, but GG's, let's wrap this up. Get ready for the offseason, so we will have the new team next year. I mean, well, we can't do that. The Lakers are already locked into the playoffs, so they have to play in the playoffs. They can't just like say, oh, we don't even want to play no more. They have to go in there and at least try to compete in things of that nature. But one of the good things about this, I guess you can say, is, you know, guys like Kobe Buffkin, Adu Thiero, Bronny, like some of these guys are gonna have to play some meaningful minutes going down the stretch of the season. And we're really going to be able to get a very, very good look at some of these guys. Now, Bronny has been doing a lot of good things. Bronny has been doing a lot of good things over the last couple weeks. You know, he's been having some inefficient shooting games or whatever. Like, I think, what game was that he shot really bad from the field? I think that was the Wizards, I think. But defensively, he's been good in stretches. He's been able to handle the ball and relieve some of the ball handlers from pressure and things of that nature. And, you know, he's been able to do some very, very good things when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. But I do think that when it comes to Adu Thiero, when it comes to Kobe Buffkin, like, you're going to have more ball handling now because you're not going to have Luka or Austin. And Marcus Smart is still hurt right now, too. And he just got ruled out today as well. So 3 of your starters are going to be out. So I'm guessing that the Lakers starting five is probably gonna be right now it's probably gonna be LeBron, Aiden, Rui, Laravia, and I don't know who the starting point guard is gonna be, bro. Because if Marcus Smart was healthy, it probably would be him. But I don't know who's gonna be your starting five. I don't know. But I feel like those four players are gonna be the starting four at least. I just don't know who that fifth starter is gonna be. Maybe it'll be Bronny. Maybe it'll be Luke Kennard. Maybe it'll even be Kobe Buffkin. Maybe JJ will go with Kobe Buffkin. But I don't know like who he's exactly gonna go with. But the Lakers will be able to lean a little bit more towards defense with this lineup of having Laravia, and then when Marcus Smart comes back, whenever he comes back, obviously he's the best defender on our team, and he can handle the ball, and he can initiate offense, he can score when he has to, and things of that nature. So he's had opportunities this season to score and stuff like that, and that's what he's done in different scenarios. So I'm hoping that. But y'all fire off y'all questions and comments, man. Y'all come on up in here. Y'all drop a like on the stream for me, guys. Y'all get y'all questions and comments in here. And we just getting started. We're gonna talk about like what we need to do in order to maximize the rest of the season. Because it's not like Austin and Luka have been ruled out for the rest of the season, like no matter what. Like they've been actually ruled out for the season. Like they have season-ending injuries. They're just ruled out for the rest of the regular season. And possibly the beginning of the first round, whoever we play against. So, the Lakers season isn't just like completely over with. Who the hell is this? The Lakers season is not completely over with as of right now. It's looking like it's bad. It's looking real bad right now. Obviously, you're not going to have your best two players. It's never a good thing when you're in that situation, but yeah. Well, it was a fun season. It was, especially like at times during this last like month and a half when the Lakers were winning a lot of games. Let's go ahead and hop into this right quick. Like the last like month and a half when the Lakers were winning a lot of games, like, we had a lot of belief in this team, and rightfully so. I felt like we rightfully had a lot of belief in this team because it wasn't like they were just beating on a bunch of bad teams. They were legitimately beating on a bunch of very, very good teams. And, that's encouraging to see. That's very, very encouraging to see. And it's just unfortunate that we lose our best two players at this time of the season. So, that Spurs and Nuggets game was really, really good, though. That was a great game. All right, let's go ahead and hop into the Lakers schedule right quick, man. This sucks so bad, chat. It sucks so bad, man. The Lakers been playing so well. And what was yesterday? The Lakers been playing so well, bro. And actually, I'm trying to go to the Lakers schedule. Let's see. I'll just go to standings and then pull up the Lakers. Yep. So, all right, let's go to the schedule right quick. Yeah, Lakers just wrap up. Lakers just wrap up the season, get the picks. They can't do that. They can't. You can't. You already in a position of where, bro, you're 50. What is the Lakers record? They're 50-27. Like you're not getting any good picks. Like you can't wrap up the season. You already have secured a playoff spot. You can't do that. You can't tank for the rest of the season and try to get a bad record. Like this happened 7 games before the playoffs start. It's like literally the worst time it can happen. And then you've done a bunch of winning the last like month and a half. Like they've won like 17 of their last 20 games. That's a lot of winning, bro, against good teams, against whatever teams. The Lakers are in an extremely unfortunate situation, of course, with the injuries to the two best players, which is the most important part. But at the same time, they can't just like wrap up the season. We're just going to try to lose for the rest of the season and go into the offseason. They're already secured a playoff spot. They've already done that. Like, they're not going to just give up. You know what I'm saying? And we shouldn't either. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, our expectations should be tempered, obviously. But now you're trying to figure out how you can maximize the team until Austin and Luka can come back. If you lose in the first round, okay, cool, that's fine. It'll be understandable now if you lose in the first round without your two best players. What team is going to really compete without their best player for sure and then their second best player as well, right? So I just don't see it happening with them coming back. And Kasham said that, you know, it's a 4 to 6 week type injury when it comes to Reaves. And he also said it was a 3 to 6 week type injury when it comes to the grade 2 hamstring strain of Luka Doncic. Hold on, let me go down. All right. What do you think about what Stephen A. Smith said about Luka? Like I said at the beginning of the stream, Stephen A. Smith is a complete idiot. He always wants to criticize people about, like he was criticizing LeBron about the stuff he said about Memphis, and he said he was saying it about around a bunch of white people. Bro, you're literally around white people all the time. Like, you've done so much stuff when it comes to disrespecting black people, and you're a black man, but you want to say that about LeBron when LeBron is just simply saying he don't like playing in Memphis. And it's been a bunch of other players like that have been on record saying that they don't like playing in Memphis either. But when LeBron says something like that, you want to bring up race and things. I cannot stand Stephen A. Smith. He is such a fucking idiot, bro. And he's just butthurt because he got sized up by LeBron and didn't do shit. He just looked scared. He just looked like a fragile little boy standing up there not doing nothing. He been going on different podcasts and he been going on a tour the last year since that happened and just speaking on these things like he's talking to a psychiatrist or something about his problems mentally. Like, bro, that dude is so weird to me. And ever since he's like taken over ESPN, that's the exact same reason why. Or First Take, that's one of the main reasons why that show has just went downhill. Right? Because I used to watch First Take all the time. Stephen A. Smith is a complete idiot, bro. And he was saying that Luka was faking an injury. Bro, are you serious? What Luka got a fake an injury for? like what? You said they getting somebody's picks? How? How they getting somebody's picks? If the Lakers lose these last, 5 games? So if they lose these last 5 games, they'll have a total record of 50-32. They'll still be 18 games above 500. How they get another pick, bro? That's still 18 games above. The Lakers could lose the rest of the season, and they still will have a 50-win season, and they'll have 32 losses. So that's still a very good record. I don't know whose pick would they get if they lost the last 5 games. Get the picks they're going to get and just go from there. In my opinion, they're going to try, but I feel like better to wrap up the season. I mean, if that's what you're saying, then I completely disagree. I didn't misunderstand what you said in that message. Because if you're saying that they should just wrap up the season and not even try to do anything, it's too late to do that. They've already secured a playoff spot. I mean, how can they wrap up the season when they're already going to the playoffs? That's what I'm saying. Nah, I know they're red, but I think they're supposed to get somebody picked. Nah. As far as I know, they're not getting anybody's pick. As far as I know, they're not. They didn't pick swap with anybody that, as far as I know. Now I know that they'll be eligible to use more first round picks this offseason, but that's either if they were to win, and it don't matter if they were to lose out or win out. It don't matter if they were even to win the championship. They still would be eligible to use more first round picks, future first round picks this offseason. They'll be eligible to use those, but it ain't gonna change them if they just lose the rest of the games, the rest of the season. They've already had too good of a season to do that. Yeah, they'll be eligible to use more future picks in when the new league year starts in 2026-2027 season. At this offseason. Who give a fuck about what Stephen A. Smith say? A lot of people do. And that's the reason why they still get a lot of viewership. But people that actually have a brain, bro, and think for themselves, and they're not just puppets, like they don't have to go off what Stephen A. Smith and those guys say. Like, Stephen A. Smith is one of the biggest hypocrites in television. And that's just a fact. He says things about certain people, but he does them himself. It doesn't make sense. You said, bro, how did this happen? It's just extremely unfortunate, bro. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring in some of my Bron bias here, chat. I am a Bron fan. I'm not gonna sit up here like I'm not a biased Bron fan, but I do speak the truth, and I am a fan of LeBron. I've been a fan of LeBron since I was like 8 years old, right? But at the same time, this has happened to him with teammates on his team like 4 times, bro. It happened multiple times with Anthony Davis. Well, it happened in 2021, which was like probably another significant chance, the actual chance that they had to win the NBA Finals that year. I felt like in 2021, I felt like their team was probably just as good in 2021 as it was in 2020. And in 2021, their record wasn't as good to finish off the season because Anthony Davis was injured throughout that season for a good stretch. And that's when the Solomon Hill LeBron injury happened in 2021 as well. So LeBron missed like 4 or 5 weeks or something like that. When he was like almost about to win MVP that season. He was literally the leading candidate to win MVP when he got injured that year. And he got hurt. Anthony Davis got hurt. Then AD came back. And then Anthony Davis got hurt again in the first round against the Suns. When the Lakers were up, Anthony Davis got injured. They were up 2-1 in that series. And Anthony Davis got hurt in the fourth game. And he didn't play at all in the second half. And that just completely changed around the series. And the Suns ended up winning that. You go back to the 2015 finals, they didn't have Kyrie or Kevin Love. Like, it's happened multiple times, you know. And I'm not saying this is about LeBron. This is about the Lakers. But at the same time, like, from a Bron, I was a day one Bron fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Before he started winning rings and stuff like that, I was always rocking with whatever team he goes to. Right? It's always seemed like it's happened to him. Even D Wade in the 2014 finals, he had a bum knee. He was playing through it, but he wasn't the same player. So you said, man, I think we could have made it to the Western Conference Finals. We would have had beaten the Wolves and an inexperienced Spurs. Hey, with the way that Luka was playing and the way our team was playing in general, if you just take out that Spurs game, I wouldn't put anything past what the Lakers could do. I wouldn't. I legit would not put anything past what the Lakers could do when it come to making a deep playoff run. Because of the way that Luka was playing and the way that they were playing in general as a team, I wouldn't have put anything past them. Me personally. Let me see. The fact that the Lakers don't know who the starting point guard after only missing 2 starters is so sad and speaks to Port. Well, they're missing 3 starters. They're missing 3. They're still missing Marcus Smart as well. We can't forget about Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart been starting all year when the main guys have been out. He's been an extremely crucial part to this team. And yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, obviously, but when you really look at it, it's a lot of teams around the league, especially teams that are playoff teams, that when they're missing their 2 best players or their 2 best playmakers or whatever, like, they're going to struggle to figure out ways to try to fill out, like, who is the primary ball handler, who is the point guard for the team or whatever. Like, that's going to be a huge question mark. And you know, even though Gabe Vincent is not good at all compared to, in his Lakers tenure at least, compared to what Luka Kennard has been, he was a guy that could probably handle the ball a little bit, but I still would rather have Marcus Smart on our team than Gabe Vincent. But, you know, we're missing the 2 best players on our team, the 2 guys that have the most usage, Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic. And we're missing Marcus Smart, who's been our most important player this season. He has the highest plus minus on our team. He's the best defensive player on our team. He leads the team in charges. He's one of the leaders of the team. Like, he's one of the most important parts of our team. So we can't forget, we've been missing him too over the last like week and a half or whatever it's been since that Magic game. That was the last game he played in when Luka Kennard hit the game winner. So we're missing him as well. And if he was playing right now, he would be the starting point guard. I'm hearing they will have more picks to use in the offseason. I got to check. Yeah, they'll be eligible to use more picks, but they won't have more picks because of if they lose more games or whatever. Kind of like the situation where the Thunder will take the Clippers pick, and it'll probably be a lot better than it was. Well, it'll be a lot worse than it was at the beginning of the season now because the Clippers are on the cusp of trying to be a playing team and trying to make the playoffs. So the Thunder pick won't be as high. But that's a different situation. That's because they had a pick swap a couple years ago. I think it was involved in the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade. I don't know which year it was involved in, but that's the reason why for that situation. You said we are cooked. We can't beat anyone with our 2 best players. I mean, shit, bro. Yeah, we definitely are cooked. But at the same time, no team in the NBA history is going to win a playoff series without having their best 2 players. I don't care how deep you say your team is. I don't care you can even take If you take Shea and Jalen Williams off the Thunder, they're not beating no playoff teams. They're not beating no playoff teams without those guys. If you take Jalen Williams and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander off the Thunder right now, who is the best team in the league on paper, record-wise, and have a lot of really good players coming off their bench, they won't beat the Suns, they won't beat the Clippers, they will not beat these guys in the first round because they're missing their two best players. No team is gonna win. Now maybe in the Eastern Conference. But even in the Eastern Conference this year, the way Charlotte is playing, bro, if you take Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren off the Pistons, they're not going to beat the Charlotte Hornets. I just don't think that they will. The Charlotte Hornets have been playing so good as of late. They will win that series. Now, the Pistons or the Thunder probably win a couple games, but they ultimately won't win the 7-game series. And that's the most important part. It don't matter how many games it goes to. Like, it's about who wins the series. So y'all let me know if I'm tripping or not. If I'm faded, chat, y'all let me know. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. And I'm gonna ask y'all a question too after I read this comment. You think Bron comes back next year, try to run it back? Vibes with injuries screwed us up. Bro, Hamsul Camilo, I have not changed my whole stanchion on LeBron coming back to the Lakers at all. The entire time. I felt like Bron been locked in to the Lakers, or it's the two options are I'm locked in with the Lakers or I'm gonna retire. It's one or the other. Once they drafted Bronny, I don't see him leaving the Lakers when Bronny is still here. That would make no sense. Now, it could happen. I could be completely wrong. I just don't see it because you don't have where you gonna go, Cleveland? You just smoked them. You just smoked them so bad last week that their starters weren't even in the game in the fourth quarter. You gonna go join that team over playing with Luka Doncic, who was just on the cusp of winning MVP before he got hurt, right? Austin Reaves is ascending and playing better every single year. You could take a pay cut this offseason, and y'all could try to make some moves in the offseason to make y'all team even better. They've been the 3rd seed in the Western Conference the last 2 years. The Western Conference is way tougher than any other conference, right? Or way tougher than the Eastern Conference. So, me personally, I just haven't seen a scenario where I'm like, yeah, bro, if Bron go join that team, they'll have a significantly better chance of winning a championship over the Lakers. I just don't see it because obviously he's not going to the Thunder. He's not going to the Pistons. He's not going, and even if he went to the Pistons, I don't know if they'll have a better chance. Maybe because they are very good athletically and defensively and things of that nature, but they can't shoot the ball. So we'll see how that affects them in the playoffs. But when it comes to LeBron playing with a specific team, I don't really see a scenario where he could be in a better situation. Maybe you want to go join Denver? Maybe. But I just don't see that happening, bro. I could be wrong. Fake injury. I'm tired of them faking an injury after losing to Spurs and OKC. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, Super 2W, bro. If you say something like that again in my chat, bro, I'm gonna ban you, bro. I'm not dealing with no just pure ignorance. Like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm sorry, bro. We're not finna sit up here and say that Luka and Austin Reaves are faking injuries to be out into the playoffs. Y'all, I'm gonna lose it, bro. What are y'all talking about? The Lakers are 3rd in the Western Conference. They are trying to secure the 3rd seed. It ain't like that when they lost that last game to OKC, they just knocked them out of the playoffs and they done for. Bro, they still have a chance. They still have a chance to secure the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. All they have to do is win 4 out of their last 5 games. You're trying to tell me Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves are faking an injury when they still have a chance to secure the 3rd seed in the Western Conference going into the playoffs? They're already locked into the playoffs. What are they faking for? For what? It doesn't make sense. We ain't finna be ignorant. That's what we not finna do. I'm not finna listen to you be ignorant. That's crazy. Now, if you want to say OKC beat the brakes off the Lakers and Luka Doncic ain't the MVP no more, okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. But saying that these players are faking injuries is absurd to me. Yep. You said good chance a dude gonna get some run and Bronny gonna get 20 plus minutes in the playoffs. Probably, bro. And then this is a good thing because you will be able to see some and shit. Hey, bro, Dalton Connect might even get minutes now. Dalton Connect might get minutes now because the Lakers are going to need scoring. They're going to need scoring because they'll have more defensive-minded players in the rotation now. They'll have more. I'm going to go full screen here. But they'll have more defensive-minded players in the rotation now because you're going to be missing Marcus Smart, you're going to be missing Reaves, and you're going to be missing Luka. So everybody's pretty much going to have to play. Everybody's going to have to chip in. Dalton Connect might come off the bench now. Vando obviously is going to be a part of the rotation now. Obviously Jake and Rui are going to start alongside Aiden. Obviously Jackson Hayes is going to play. Adu Thiero, he might get minutes. I don't know who's going to get more minutes out of him and Dalton Connect, but the last time both of those guys were available, Adu Thiero got in the game against the Pistons. So Dalton Connect did just go crazy yesterday in the first half in that playoff game in the G League. So I mean, I know it's the G League, but you know, maybe you try to see if you can kind of ride the hot hand. He's kind of feeling confident in himself right now. So maybe you play him some tomorrow against Dallas and see how he plays. If he doesn't play well, then maybe you try Adu Thiero the next game. Or maybe you try Adu Thiero in the second half. I don't know if JJ is going to do that, but he has those options now. He has to. And he was talking about it earlier in one of the interviews he had before the Austin Reaves injury news was revealed. He was saying that, you know, he doesn't have the luxury to overreact or try to panic and things of that nature. He's the head coach of the Lakers. He has to figure out what players he can put in different situations for the teams to succeed. And as a coach, that's what he's supposed to do. And JJ's demeanor has always been good, especially for him not to be a coach, to never have been had any type of coaching experience, especially at the professional level. You know, I think he coached like an AAU team for some girls or something like that a couple years ago. But obviously that's not the same as coaching a professional basketball player or even on the college level. But now you're going to have that luxury of you have to try and figure out what players can play well in this situation. This could be Dalton Connect's last chance with the Lakers. If he doesn't play, and I've said that before. I've said that when Austin Reaves got hurt around Christmas. Now he's hurt again. Dalton Connect, what you gonna do, bro? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do in this situation? If you get the opportunity, are you going to come in and capitalize? Are you going to play defense? Are you going to do the dirty work? Or you going to think you too cute to play defense and you think you just still the star that you was at Tennessee and you trying to come in the game and get you 15 to 20 points in a game and you don't want to play defense? You're not there yet, bro. You are not at that point in your career to where you can just come in the game, look cute and try to shoot the ball and drop 30, 25 and not play defense. You are not there. JJ will not play you if you do that. He won't. Now, maybe it'll be a little bit more excusable at this point because you'll have more defenders on the court with him to kind of cover up his flaws, right? Or guys that lean towards defense more, and you need a little bit more shooting and scoring, so maybe it can balance out a little bit. And I did not say the numbers. I did not say the numbers when I did it. I did not say the numbers when I did it. All right. Roster needs improvement though. More athletic backcourt, two-way defenders. More athletic backcourt. Are you talking about like guys coming off the fence? Oh yeah, 100%. We talked about that 100,000 times, bro. That doesn't change anything. Now that Austin and Luka are hurt, that doesn't change anything. The Lakers definitely do still need to get younger. Or they have a pretty young team, but they need to get more athletic. And you know, have more two-way kind of players on their team. They got to figure out ways they can do that. And I think in this stretch right here, Adu Thiero is already that young athletic type player that kind of is a defensive first type of player, right? He's already that type of player. Now you need to see if he can be out there on the court in these situations and be able to fit in and play good offense and play within the system of the team offensively and how he'll look. Now is the best time to see that because you're not going to have Austin, you're not going to have Luka, and probably Smart for a couple more games maybe. If Smart comes back I don't even know if Marcus Smart is going to come back this regular season, but if he wasn't, they probably would have ruled him out as well. So maybe he'll come back. Maybe it's a day-to-day thing, but this is the best time to see what Adu Thiero has because if Adu Thiero pans out, they traded up for him for a reason. And it seems like every single time he's gotten a game in garbage time or even in the G League, he's always shown flashes of, I can be a very good rotational NBA player. The Lakers need the exact type of player that he is. That's what the Lakers need to fit around Luka and Austin. And if Bron comes back next year or whatever, that's the type of player that they need. The athletic two-way type of, well, we don't know if he's a two-way player yet. He's shown flashes in the G League for sure, but we don't know how that'll look in the actual NBA. So this is his time. Dalton Connect, Adu Theoro, like our two best players go down and get hurt. This is y'all's time now. Let's see what y'all can do. Need some athleticism, a better bench, and a better starting big this offseason. Yeah, I mean, like we've said so many times throughout the last couple months, even though DeAndre Ayton has been playing better the last like month overall since like he's came back since the All-Star break, I felt like DeAndre Ayton has been a lot better. And I wouldn't mind DA coming back next season. I wouldn't be mad about it, or I wouldn't mind it as much because he's been playing so well the last month and a half. In the first like month and a half of the season, he was very, very good as well. What if DeAndre Ayton right now in this situation, what if he elevates his game to where he was playing before the All-Star break, or not before the All-Star break, but the first like month and a half of the season? If he starts back playing like that as well, do we really need to focus on trying to go after a center this offseason? Because you're not really going to get none in free agency. The free agency, the unrestricted free agency market this summer is not good, chat. It's not good. I even seen a report on Twitter yesterday talking about the Lakers are going to try to target Tobias Harris this offseason. Bro, Tobias Harris, bro. Now, Tobias Harris isn't like terrible, but is that somebody we really want to target on this team? We don't need Tobias Harris type players. We need like Peyton Watson type players, like athletic, rangy. You know, that's the type of players we need. Now, I don't know if Denver's going to let him go. He's a restricted free agent, so I doubt Denver's just going to let him go, especially to another Western Conference contender. Feel like I would rather play the Rockets than the T-Wolves and just hope their inability to run a half-court offense is enough. Yeah, bro. I definitely would. But right now, if you are the third seed now, you will be playing against. Let me look at the standings right quick. If third seed right now, you'll be playing against the Timberwolves. You'll be playing against the Timberwolves if you are the third seed as of right now. And I don't know if that's going to change because let me see how many losses the Timberwolves have now. I mean, they're still 15 games above 500, but the Rockets are 2 games ahead of them. And the Rockets are only 2 games behind us. So they're not out of the water to even be the third seed. So a lot can change. A lot can change, chat, between right now and a lot can change between now and the next time we see our best players, or, you know, we get to the playoffs. A lot can change because the Rockets are only 2 games behind us. The Nuggets are essentially a game and a half back from us because we have the tiebreaker over them. So if we end up having the same record to end the season off, we have the tiebreaker over the Nuggets. So we'll be ahead of them. Now, the Nuggets schedule is cake compared to ours down the stretch of the season. It's cake. And the reason why I'm saying that is today was a very, very important game for the Nuggets winning over the Spurs, because if the Spurs cannot catch, and damn, I didn't know they was winning this much. They've won 2, 4, 6. They've won their last 8 games. Now, they ain't really played nobody. Like, they played Portland. They played against Toronto. They played against Phoenix, which they almost lost that Phoenix game. I remember watching that game. They lost. They beat Dallas, Utah, Golden State, Utah again. Bro, who made their schedule, bro? Who made their schedule? Why couldn't our schedule be this fucking easy down the stretch of the season, chat? Why couldn't our schedule be this easy down the stretch of the home stretch of the season? Why not? I'm so confused. Frustrating. But the most important thing going down the stretch of the season, if San Antonio cannot catch OKC, they will not play they will not play. Y'all can see this? Can y'all see this shit? Scoot this down some more. All right. The most important thing going down the stretch of the season, if the San Antonio Spurs can't catch the Thunder, they will end up not playing their starters the last 2 games of the season. So Denver will be playing against probably the end of the bench for the Thunder and the Spurs. So that'll be 2 more wins as well. So That's the reason why today's game against San Antonio and Denver was so crucial to the Western Conference and where the Lakers could possibly finish as well, because I don't know how much it's going to matter, especially now without Reaves and Luka. I don't even know how many games the Lakers will be able to win going down the stretch. And I think they'll be able to beat Dallas. They'll be able to beat Utah. But I don't know if they'll be able. They might be able to beat Golden State, but Steph Curry is coming back as well. So we don't know if he's going to have an explosive game against us down the stretch of the season. He might have one. So it's a lot of question marks the last couple of games of the season. But when it comes to Denver, they play against Portland again, which they could lose to Portland. I mean, they lost to Portland at the beginning of the season, and Portland is a little bit more healthy now than what they were. I don't even know where Shaedon Sharpe is. I don't know what kind of injury he has. I don't even remember the last time he played. They just lost to Memphis a few weeks ago, but I doubt they'll be ready for this game Wednesday because Memphis just beat them a couple weeks ago. And then they play against OKC and San Antonio. So I don't know if they're going to lose any more games this season because San Antonio and OKC might not even be playing their starters. Now, if they're playing their starters, they possibly could lose both of those games. But I just don't know if they will be because the seeding will probably already be locked up at that point. We'll see. Let's see. Well, Rob Pelinka has built this team with two-way players. They defend and shoot. You got all that cap space. It's time to make use of it. Yeah, it don't matter that much about cap space though, bro. Because, I mean, unless you're making trades. But in order to make trades, you have to be able to make the right trades. Because, like I said earlier, the unrestricted free agency class this summer, chat, is not good. If you're thinking that the Lakers are going to go out there and find multiple starters in unrestricted free agency, they won't. They might find a couple good role players because there's some good guys that can come off your bench, maybe start. But there aren't a lot of because Peyton Watson, he's not an unrestricted free agent. He's going to be a restricted free agent. So if you want to get him, you would have to offer him a contract. And if Denver doesn't want him to leave, they can just match it. So it's going to be so hard to get Peyton Watson away from the Nuggets because he's a restricted free agent. You already tried to trade for Herb Jones and Trey Murphy at the trade deadline, and the Pelicans were asking for the whole kitchen and the entire sink. You know what I'm saying? So imagine the prices in the summer. The prices are always higher in the summer than they are during the trade deadline because teams try to make moves right before the end of the season or when prices kind of lower down a little bit to continue on the season and stuff like that. So when it comes to what the price is going to be in the summertime, it's always going to cost you an extra first round pick in the summer compared to what it would at the trade deadline. The trade deadline seems like it's always when prices are at their lowest when it comes to trying to get players off other teams. So it's going to be hard to try to improve this team this summer. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, chat. I don't have a lot of faith in Rob Pelinka, right? And when you look at what Rob Pelinka has done with this team over the last couple off seasons, he really doesn't make a lot of trades in the offseason. The last offseason trade the Lakers made was for Patrick Beverley. Back in 2022 or 2023, whenever that was. Russell Westbrook's last season. When Pat Bev got his ass sent on somewhere. When we got D'Lo and Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt that season. That was in the summertime. Rob Pelinka traded for Patrick Beverley. So that was the last time they did anything like that. Draft a center? Probably. Because, for example, if the Lakers could have got Maxime Reynald, I don't know if Maxime Reynald is the type of center you want playing alongside Luka because he's not really extremely athletic, but he's a very, very good player already. He's shown a lot of flashes. The Kings got them a very good future center because he is a very good player. And he got drafted in the second round. Ryan Kalkbrenner was in the second round as well. So you definitely can find some value in the second round. You definitely can find some value in the second round. All right, let's see here. Hold up, chat. Y'all give me 1 second before I hop back into y'all's questions. Okay. All right, let me see what Tom. And yeah, when it comes to the Lakers chat, we need to talk about who. Well, we kind of just talked about who needs to step up. But do y'all have faith in LeBron chat to like lead this team to try to win some games to end off the regular season and maybe even win a first round playoff series? Do y'all have faith in LeBron to do that? Y'all let me know, chat. I really want to know that question because I'm a huge LeBron fan, bro. But I gotta see it, bro. I gotta see it because I don't know. We'll see. Down the stretch of the season, we'll see because it's gonna be tough. All right, what's on these? Oh, they're about to start now. Damn it. We could get Ayo Dosunmu, Quinn Grimes, Andrew Wiggins. That's if they don't sign extensions with their respective teams. They might end up signing extensions with their team, so it might not even matter. It might not even matter that much. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm trying to do something right quick, chat. Let's see. Seager, the Lauder. Oh, okay, never mind. Peyton Watson is ideal, but Tobias ain't bad. He has two-way skill. Yeah, Tobias ain't terrible. I definitely wouldn't be mad about getting Tobias Harris. I definitely would not be mad about that. But at the same time, I just don't think that he's one of those guys you should target. I think that when it comes to targeting for the Lakers, they need to try to target younger players and more athletic players. If I said this in a video and I said this in one of my previous live streams, if a Dude Thiero pans out for this team, you know how much that would help the Lakers. And that's why I think right now you need to be trying to play him at this time of the season. When you don't have Luka, Austin, and Marcus Smart, and you probably won't be winning a whole lot of these games down the stretch against some of these other teams. Maybe they will. I don't know, because it's not like they haven't won these games with LeBron leading the charge and when Austin Reaves was on a minutes restriction. Because right before the All-Star break, we got to remember, Chad, Austin Reaves on like a 20-minute minute restriction. So he wasn't really playing that much in those games. And the Lakers were still winning games. They beat the Mavericks. They beat the Warriors. They beat the 76ers. Like, they beat some good teams right before the All-Star break. The Sixers in specific. Well, Austin did go crazy in that game in a short amount of time. He played like 25 minutes and he had like 35 points. I mean, he was going berserk in that game. But I still think LeBron is capable of having a very good game when it comes to being the first option. And then on top of that, we're really going to see what this team is made of, because I think the ball movement and the team touches are going to be way more efficient when it comes to everybody touching the ball more often. So it's definitely going to be more of a team effort trying to win some of these games going down the stretch to try to secure the third seed. And that's all you want to see. I just want to see this team compete. And I just think that they can still compete with teams. I just don't know if they'll be able to beat some of these teams and pull it out at the end. Give me Peyton Watson. It's going to be hard to get Peyton, bro, because he restricted free agent. He's a restricted free agent. Yeah. My guess is the Lakers drop the 4th seed. They might drop to the 4th seed. They might. They still have the tiebreaker over the Timberwolves. They have the tiebreaker over the Nuggets, and they have the tiebreaker over the Rockets. All three of those teams, the Lakers have a tiebreaker over. So all they have to do, if they want to secure the 3rd seed, all they have to do is win 4 out of their last 5 games. And no matter what any team behind them does in the Western Conference, they will secure the 3rd seed. You'll have a whole entire week off for the playing games. You'll have a whole entire week off, and no basketball at all to be played. And, hopefully Austin and Luka can heal a little bit more during that time when no basketball is being played. But I still don't expect Austin, especially. And, well, both of them have bad injuries. It's not like they rolled their ankles or have like a pinky injury and they can kind of play through it on their left hand or something like that. Like, bro, they both have very, very bad injuries. Luka has a soft tissue injury again, and Austin has an oblique injury. That has put players out this season for 6 to 8 weeks. Like, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner both had the same injury last season, and they missed a significant amount of time. Now, I don't know what the significance of what the grade was of the injury. For example, for some reason, Luka got a grade 2 hamstring strain, and Austin got a grade 2 oblique injury. So they both got grade 2 injuries. So it's not like a grade 1 or something like that, like where it's the lowest of that caliber of injury. They got grade 2, which makes it even worse. In the same game when they got blew out. So, bro, this is just so unfortunate. The Lakers been playing so good. And you know some of these idiotic haters, they love it. They love every second of it. They love every second of it. And that's not the point. But it's just like, it just makes it even more annoying because the Lakers were proving a lot of people wrong. You know what I'm saying? The last like month and a half. People been wanting them to be so bad the whole year. ESPN had them ESPN had the Lakers going from being the 3rd seed in the Western Conference last year to not even making the play-in this season. And the Lakers are the 3rd seed again this year. So it's been so many people not wanting them to succeed. And when you kind of seeing people and players and teams beat the odds, so to speak, you know, it's encouraging to watch. And I know a lot of haters didn't want to see that. So that's what makes it even more annoying. Bro, I wanted Ayo Dosunmu so bad before the deadline. Y'all remember me talking about him so much, chat. Y'all remember me talking about him in videos and in live streams and things of that nature. I was saying how bad I wanted Ayo Dosunmu on the Lakers. I would have preferred him even over Luke Kennard. Now, Luke Kennard is no option. You have to sign him and get him back on this team, at least for the next couple years. He's been too good for the Lakers since he came over. From the Hawks for only Gabe Vincent in the 2nd round pick. That's a steal. Like, bro, y'all remember how bad Gabe Vincent was when it come to offense? He was so bad. But Quentin Grimes would be great. I would, you know, he was one of the guys we talked about when we talking about like the Lakers making certain trades and things of that nature. And obviously Andrew Wiggins would be the perfect fit in the starting lineup. I just don't know if the Miami Heat will let him go. So, you know, that's a huge question mark. We just don't know, bro. And that's kind of where we stand on it for right now. But man, it's been a rough last 2 days for us Lakers fans, chat, because the Lakers have been playing phenomenal basketball. Even though they just got smoked a couple days ago against OKC, you have to look at the big picture. And big picture wise, the last like month and a half, bro, they've been one of the better teams in the league. And you know, just when you look at their schedule, I mean, they just been winning so many games against very good teams as well. So, very discouraging, bro. It seemed like that OKC loss really hurt a lot of things this season, and not just the morale of the team when we get blew out. It literally hurt the 2 best players on the team. So, okay, we got a cornball in the chat. We got somebody in the chat that does not make any sense at all. Okay, let me go. Oh, mashing button 28. Let me go ahead and show you what we're talking about here, because I don't know what type of timing you on, bro. But they were absolutely proving people wrong. They were absolutely doing that. And I'm finna show you why right now. Pay attention. The Lakers did not have an easy schedule in March. You sound like a complete goofy. You sound like a complete fool right now. And I would advise you to stop, because I'm finna show you right now that you are wrong. Because it's whether you don't like the Lakers or you are a hater of them. It's one or the other, because there is no way you saying that they had an easy schedule in March. Brother, you know this stretch right here? The stretch right here, right? Now, obviously, they lost these 3 games in a row to Boston, Orlando, and Phoenix. But the only team, according to you, the only team here that's good is Boston. Phoenix and Orlando aren't good teams, according to you. And that's fine, because they lost those games, right? Okay, so lost to Denver. Okay. The New York Knicks, they are a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. They are a very good team. Beat them. The Minnesota Timberwolves, before the game started, people were thinking no way they can win that game without LeBron. They beat them too. Back-to-back games, beating 2 very good teams without LeBron James. New York Knicks and Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, Chicago Bulls, they're not good. Okay, cool. Denver Nuggets, who just beat the San Antonio Spurs today. Are you trying to tell me that the Spurs are not a good team? Or are you trying to tell me the Denver Nuggets are not a good team? They beat them as well. The best team they beat was Denver. Okay, cool. They still beat good teams, though. I don't care who was the best team that they beat, right? And then going back-to-back games against the Houston Rockets. They beat them both times. And then on top of that, I don't care what nobody says. This was the toughest game in this stretch, in my opinion. Less than 24 hours of rest. You go play against a very good Miami Heat team. Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, like they have good players. They have a winning record right now. I believe they're a playoff team. If they're not a playoff team, they're the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. They might be the 7th seed, but they are a very good team. Less than 24 hours of rest, you go play against them. You said Houston is trash. I don't care if you think Houston is trash. Houston is the 4th seed in the Western Conference right now. We're not finna sit up here and act like that. We're not finna do that. I'm sorry, they're the 5th seed. They are the 5th seed in the Western Conference right now, and they are, let's see how many games above 500 they are. They're 19 games above 500. So you're saying that they're not beating good teams? That doesn't make any sense. The teams that you're saying are not good teams, they've beaten some of the better teams in the league, the top teams in the league. So what are we saying? We can't move the goalposts, bro. The Lakers beat a lot of good teams in that stretch, and they played those teams in like a short window of games. So, and all of those teams before the game started, before those matches started, my point is, but I mean, you can have that opinion yourself, right? That's fine. You can have that opinion, but it's not the truth though. Everybody is entitled to have their own opinion. The Lakers were playing against teams above 500 that are playoff teams that are in the same conference as them, that are literally in the same standing as them. And they just beat all of those teams in a row. So if you're trying to sit up here and discourage that, I don't know what to tell you, but you look like a complete idiot because you can't sit up here and say that. And then on top of all of that, before I finish my point, on top of all of that, before those games, everybody was saying the Lakers can't beat teams above 500. They can't beat playoff teams. That's what the message was before those games. So when they won those games, it made it look even better because where am I? I'm on the Lakers. When they won those games, all of these games in a matter of time, because after this game right here, everybody was giving the Lakers a hard time. When they lost his first game to Denver, in Denver, when Marcus Smart missed those last couple threes and they could have won that game as well. And then LeBron got hurt in this game, so he didn't play in the Indiana game, he didn't play in the New York game, he didn't play in the Minnesota game. But if you're trying to tell me the Knicks are trash, you don't make any type of sense. You make no sense at all. Is Minnesota trash as well? Minnesota trash to you too? Houston is trash. Miami is trash. Who is your team, Mashing Button? You one of them puppets we see all the time on Twitter. They just all they do is hate and don't have no logical sense around nothing they say. How in the hell how are the Knicks trash, bro? How? They have two of the best 3-and-D players in the league, and Mikal Bridges and especially OG Anunoby. They have Jalen Brunson. They have Karl Anthony Towns. They have Josh Hart. He's a very good defensive player and a very good role player as well. How in the hell are the Knicks trash, bro? How? And look, you want to know how I know you capping? Because you just said that Denver was good. Okay, let's go look at Denver's schedule right quick. Let me just make you look a little bit more stupid than you already sound right now, at least. Okay? And I'm sorry, bro. You can't come in nobody chat being like that the way you are and not respect like you can't not expect for me to be rude to a certain extent. I usually don't even be like that. But at the same time, you can't come in here talking crazy like that and not expect me to be rude back because that's the energy you brought in the chat. So that's the energy I'm going to show you back. Okay? So we going to look at I'm on the Nuggets. I'm on the Nuggets schedule. Look how bad the New York Knicks beat the Nuggets right here in this game. You trying to tell me the Knicks are trash, but they went into Denver and just literally beat them by 40, just beat them down. But the Knicks are trash? So if the Knicks are trash, how do they go into Denver with the healthy Jokic and a healthy Murray, by the way, right? How did they go in there and smoke them by 40 if they trash? How does that happen? No, you're not being honest. You're not being honest. Just because you're a Laker fan, that don't mean you're not making sense. You're making no logical sense on you saying some of these other teams are trash. You're just being ignorant. I don't care who you're a fan of, bro. That don't matter just because you're a Lakers fan. That don't mean you telling the truth. I'm a Lakers fan, and I talk on this channel all the time. I am completely unbiased to what I say, right? That's the reason why I have somewhat of an audience. It's growing every single day because I'm telling you guys the truth. You're saying that the New York Knicks are trash. You make zero sense. You're saying that the Houston Rockets are trash. Now, if you're saying that some of these other teams are better than the other team, okay, fine, that's cool. But at the same time, you're saying these teams are trash. It's whether you're, like I said, you're just being ignorant because it doesn't make sense. The Brooklyn Nets are trash. That's what I consider trash. That's a logical take. And that's an honest take. You can't say you honest just because you're a Lakers fan and you sit up here trying to say that these teams are trash. You're just ignorant. You're not making no sense. If you're going to come in somebody's chat and talk about basketball, don't be ignorant, bro. And don't expect for people to not be ignorant back towards you. You can't do that. All of those teams you just called trash, none of those teams are trash. None of them. No, you're not being a realistic person. You're being a straight up ignorant person. It makes no sense. You are trying to say that you saying the Knicks are trash, but the Denver Nuggets are good in your eyes. How did the Denver Nuggets lose to the Knicks by 40? Like what? Like it don't make sense. Now you just don't look. Bro, they are 50-28. They are 22 games above 500, and you saying they trash, bro? You come on, man. Come on, dog. You sound about goofy as hell, man. You sound extremely goofy. All right. Man said the Knicks are trash. Brother, what? What are we talking about? OKC whooped us like we owed them money. Season. Boy, they didn't really end up. Well, I see what you're saying. I hate it, bro. I don't even really too much care about the loss more than I care about our best players getting hurt. That's what matters the most for me. Our best players getting hurt. That's what matters the most. It was a meaningless game in the way of like they were already up by a lot of points. You wasn't about to come back and win. So just take your guys out and just try to finish the season strong. It ain't like you had to win that game. You can just finish out the rest of the season, try to win four out of the last 5 games and go into the playoffs and securing the 3rd seed. And Luka Doncic possibly winning the MVP because you play against OKC again next week. If you lose that game, but like I said, it's a prideful thing with some of the players, so I respect it at the same time. I'm not mad about it. I'm definitely not mad about it. If you think the Knicks are beating Denver in a 7-game series, you wildin'. Brother, what does that have to do with the Knicks being a good team? Just because another team beats them in a 7-game series, that doesn't mean that the other team was trash or that the other team was bad. And see, that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's not logical what you're saying. You're saying you're a realistic person, right? So you're trying to tell me if you are a realistic person, what's your name? Mashing button 28. If you are a realistic person, how does it make any logical sense of 2 good teams playing against each other? One team has to win. And that doesn't mean that the other team is trash. That don't mean that. That's how sports work, bro. When 2 playoff teams play against each other, and in order for that to happen, in order for the Knicks and the Nuggets to play against each other in the 7-game series, both of those teams will have to go to the finals. So they will have to go through a lot of other good teams in both of their respective conferences. So that just makes it even worse about what you're saying. You're comparing these teams on who's going to win in the 7-game series and the other team is trash. If they play against each other in the NBA Finals, that means that both of them teams will have to go through their respective conferences to play against each other in the 7-game series. So that makes it even worse about what you're saying of the Knicks not being trash. If the Knicks make it to the finals, that's going to make them look even better than what they've been playing like this season. Everyone can have a bad night, bro. People will get exposed in the playoffs. I mean, 100%. You are 100% right about that. But that still does not mean that the Knicks are trash. The Knicks have a good team. You trying to sit up here and tell me the Knicks don't have a good roster? If OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges were on this team, the Lakers would be a title favorite. They are like the prototype 3-and-D type players that a lot of teams need on their team. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best players in the league. Karl Anthony Towns is a good center. Jalen Brunson is a phenomenal point guard, phenomenal player in general. He flops a lot, but at the same time, he's still a phenomenal player. He will torch your shit. And we all know that, right? And then on top of that, as of late, he's been facilitating the ball at a whole nother level, I feel like, this season. They have good players coming off their bench. That rookie Diawara is a pretty good player. Jose Alvarado, he's annoying. He's good. Deuce McBride is a solid role player. He would have rotational minutes on this team. Mitchell Robinson, one of the better defensive bigs in the league, and he probably the best rebounder in the NBA as well. So Mitchell, you trying to tell me that the guys I just named off the top of my head, you trying to tell me that team is trash with that tandem of players? Now, will they win the NBA Finals? That's to be determined. And it doesn't matter. That doesn't determine if they're trash or not because they don't win the NBA Finals. But they still have a good team, though. We can't call them trash. That makes no sense. That's ignorant, bro. That's not being logical, like you said. That's not being realistic, like you said. If you're trying to call a team with that level of talent trash and they're 22 games above 500. Where's the logic in that, bro? Where's the realism in that? What's up, DL Hawkins? What's good, my boy? Yeah, bro. Reaves is injured. He's out for the rest of the regular season. He's most likely to miss the entire first round of the playoffs. They said today he has an oblique injury and he will miss 4 to 6 weeks. Now, they won't play for a whole entire week because they're already locked into a playoff spot, so they won't have to play in the play-in. So that whole week of the play-in games going on, the Lakers they'll be resting. But just in general, yeah, man, they both got hurt in the same. And if you was watching the game, you seen it. Like I was saying it during the game. I was like, bro, why does Austin keep holding his back area? Like he kept holding his side and his back like something was bothering him. He like went up to get a loose ball in the air, like from a rebound or like I don't know if it was a deflection or what, but he went up to get a loose ball and he was holding his back after that. I don't know if he pulled something or did something because he was walking around looking like an old man for a second. He was just holding his back area. And he was like stooping over at times. I'm like, bro, if you hurting, go sit down. This game ain't that important. So yeah, he's hurt though, bro. He'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. Long season will make teams look better than what they are. No, it won't. But you are not picking them to win a chip. But that don't matter. That still don't mean that they're trash though. That still don't mean that they're trash. That don't matter. And then like you said, long season will make teams look better. Bro, okay, so why the hell are there certain teams that just don't look well? They just don't play good. Like, there's plenty of teams, it's like the Orlando Magic. They're talented, but they haven't played well. They haven't played well enough this season. You know what I'm saying? People had them projected to be a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're barely holding on to a playoff spot. Detroit and Boston are the only good teams in the East. Yeah, I guess me and you just gonna have to disagree, bro. You just being so what you're saying is how you look at a team being good or not is like being potentially winning the NBA championship. Is that what you're saying? Because that doesn't still mean that a team isn't good. Now, a top tier contender, that's different. But saying that these teams are trash because they're not a top tier contender is not realistic, like you said. That doesn't make any sense. They got all those names and ain't going nowhere. I mean, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And they beat the Celtics, the team that you saying is better than them. They beat them last year in the playoffs. So, I mean, at the same time, and Tatum did get injured, but the series was pretty much over with after when Tatum got hurt. What game did Tatum get hurt in? He get hurt in game 3? I think he got hurt in game 3. And the Knicks had already won a couple games at that point. Did he get hurt in game 3 or game 4? Or maybe it was game 2. I can't remember. But the Knicks had already beat them with Tatum, though. That's my point. So the Knicks are definitely good enough to win against those teams. They definitely have enough talent to do that, for sure. They are not consistent at all. If they're not consistent, they wouldn't be 22 games above 500. We can't say they're not consistent. They are 22 games above 500. And you're trying to tell me they're not consistent? If you can't beat the top contending teams, how good are you? That doesn't necessarily mean you're not trash. I mean that you're trash. And at the same time, some of these teams are, like you said, some of these teams just have off nights. Like the Lakers clearly had an off night against OKC last game. They clearly had an off night. And then OKC played amazing. For like example, OKC played against Detroit without Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham. I think the game before the Lakers, and they were struggling to beat them in that game. You're struggling against a Detroit Pistons team that does not have Jalen Duren or Cade Cunningham, their best 2 players. and they barely beat them. So my point is, the Lakers just had a off night that night, and OKC played amazing basketball. You know what I'm saying? But with the way that the Lakers been playing as of late, they won the season series against the Nuggets. They won the season series against the Timberwolves. Like, these teams are good. And before the playoffs, before you played those games, like, you had idiots on television like Charles Barkley saying that the Lakers can't beat any of the good teams in the Western Conference, like any of the other teams around them or any of the good teams that are playoff teams. That was the message. The Lakers shut all that down within a 2-week span because they beat the Timberwolves, swept them for the season. They beat the Nuggets again in the most important game of the season up until that point for both of those teams, the Nuggets and the Lakers. And then on top of that, they beat the Knicks. And on top of that, they beat the Rockets twice in Houston in back-to-back games. So that's just a very important stretch in my opinion. I'm saying, in my opinion, those teams are good. Now, are those the top contending teams to win the championship? Not all of them, no. But you do have playoff teams in there and some of the better teams in the whole entire league. It ain't just 3 good teams in the NBA, bro. It ain't just 3 good teams in the league. It ain't just OKC, San Antonio, and Detroit and Boston. It ain't just those teams. It's other good teams as well. Can we get a player on a 10-day while Luka and Reaves are out? We might be able to. I don't know. I don't know if they'll be playoff eligible, though. Because if you didn't sign with a team before March the 1st, they won't be playoff eligible to go into the playoffs with you before the playoffs start. Now, you probably still could sign a guy to a 10-day contract just to kind of just fill a void until the last couple games is over with. But I don't even know if that's worth it. You might just want to play with what you have or what you're going to have in the playoffs. I don't really see that being worthy with a team that's going into the postseason. Detroit is still whooping teams without their best players. I mean, yeah, they are. They still playing well, but OKC got the best record in the league, bro. And how are you struggling against a team that don't have their 2 best players? That's what I'm saying. They were struggling to beat Detroit without their 2 best players, and then the next night or the next game against us, they just shoot the lights out and play good against a team that's better than Detroit without their 2 best players. Come on, bro. Last year is last year. How are they looking this year against top teams in the East? I don't know. The playoffs ain't started yet. So we can't go off what happened in the playoffs last year and then just go off the regular season in this year. We can't go off that. We have to go off the playoffs. When the same 2 teams matched up, the Celtics had Tatum. They had Derek White. They had Peyton Pritchard. They had Jaylen Brown. And the Knicks got all the players they have now. And I'm just going off the last time they played in a playoff setting, which is what you brought up. A 7-game series. That's what you brought up, bro. You brought that up. We don't know what's going to happen this year. We don't know. We don't even know shit. Were you expecting the Indiana Pacers to go to the finals last year? Were you because you are, I can already tell by the way you talking with these teams right now that's not the top 2 seeds in both conferences. I guess you got to be the top 2 seeds in both conferences in order to make it to the finals, in your opinion, or be a good team. Were you expecting the Indiana Pacers to go to the finals last year and be 1 game away from winning the NBA championship? If Halliburton did get hurt, they probably would have won the NBA championship. They were playing their best basketball at the right time. They were a good playoff team, and they went all the way to the finals. You gonna say Indiana not good either? That don't make no logical sense, bro. That's what I'm saying. That makes 0 sense. You said Detroit is legit. Okay, we'll see. We'll see in the playoffs. When the game slows down, we'll see how well they shooting the ball. We'll see how well they're playing if Cade can't be explosive offensively. We'll see. I think Detroit is a good team, but I do think they have their flaws as well, just like every other team. Your measuring stick is low. If you can't beat teams that are title contenders, how good are you? Brother, there are players, there are teams that are considered title contenders that are not just the top 2 seeds in both conferences. You don't have to be a top 2 seed in both conferences to be a title contender. People were considering the Timberwolves to be a title contender as well. The Timberwolves, I even heard early in the year, after the year, in 2026, some people were considering the Rockets to be contenders because they were the 3rd seed in the Western Conference for a little while. I look at Houston as a very good defensive team, and if KD and the Şengün are playing well, they can make some noise in the playoffs. But I don't think they're better than certain teams. But that still don't mean I don't think they're a good team in general. Houston is a good team. They have good players. They have guys that can play defense. They have guys that can knock down shots at times, and they have star players. But are they better than like I don't think they're better than the Lakers. I don't think they're better than the Spurs. I don't think they're better than the Nuggets. I don't think they're better than the Thunder. I don't think they're better than none of those teams. I don't even think they're better than the Timberwolves. But I still think they're good enough to kind of similar to Indiana. Similar to Indiana last year. If they're playing their best basketball at the right time, they can beat anybody. Lakers are 1-9 versus top teams in the NBA. What are you saying? The Lakers that are 1-9 against these teams in the NBA, like you're saying, they aren't playing like they are right. They were not playing like they are right now. As of late. That's not the same Lakers team, bro. They didn't have Kennard. They weren't healthy. This chemistry wasn't this tight like it is now. Now they did just get smoked by the Thunder, but I'm going off how they have been playing since they have been healthy. In the last, since after the All-Star break, basically. That's what I'm going off of. The Lakers have been playing good basketball. I hate to say it, but Boston is about to be the East problem. Oh, yeah, probably. Probably, since they healthy now, 100%. They probably are. Nobody expected Tatum to come back within 10 months, though. Nobody expected that. That's your problem now. You always going off what you think. What the fuck you talking about, bro? You have to go off what you think, nigga. We're fans of the game. We don't know nothing for sure. You don't either. What are you saying? That's all we can go off of. We don't know exactly what we about to. Nobody knows exactly what's gonna happen. Are you Jesus Christ? Like what? That's all. That's what every single fan goes off of. What they think. You ain't God. They just got beat by 30. Okay, cool. What that's supposed to mean? The Nuggets. You said the Nuggets are good, and in another team that you said was bad, or they were trash, quote unquote, according to you. They lost to that team by 40. So you can't keep that same energy for one team and then not keep it for the other team. So you said Denver was good, right? So you saying Denver is good and the Lakers aren't good. The Lakers beat the Nuggets in the season series this season 2-1 against the Nuggets. And then Denver just got smoked last month by the Knicks, another team that you said was trash, by 40 in Denver when they were healthy. You keep moving the goalpost. I'm just saying both teams are good because that's the logical truth about both teams. Denver or the Lakers probably won't win the NBA Finals. But that still don't mean that they're not good. That's all I'm saying. Go with what you know. We don't know the playoffs. We don't know what's going to happen this year in the playoffs. Nobody knows that. It hasn't happened. So until then, that's what I'm going off of what I know. What has been shown so far this season. And predicting things. Nobody is saying I'm 100% right. You ain't either. Nobody knows what's going to happen unless you just Jesus Christ or something. Nobody knows what's going to happen, bro. And you don't either. So once again, you sound stupid because you're trying to tell me to go. I'm going off what I know. I'm going off what I think. That's what all fans do. Everybody that now analyzes basketball or sports in general, that's what you do. You go off what you think or you go off your opinion. Now, are there logical facts behind it or are there statistics behind that? Most of the time, yeah, it needs to be. Some people just talk ignorant and stupid like you. And like this other dude in the chat right now, mashing buttons and not make sense. That's what some people do. Bro trying to tell me the Knicks are trash. Bro trying to tell me the Rockets are trash. Bro trying to tell me the Timberwolves are trash when they went to the conference finals the last 2 years with pretty much the same team. But you're telling me they're trash? I'm supposed to look at you like you actually a smart person saying stuff like that? Or you're a logical person or a realistic person according to you saying stuff like that? No, I'm not. The Timberwolves are not trash, bro. They got one of the best players in the league and they got one of the best rosters in the league. The Rockets are not trash. The Nuggets are good. The Knicks are good. Detroit is not beating Boston healthy? Probably not. The Lakers won't win the first round, though, fam? Well, yeah, probably not, man. No shit. They just lost Luka and Austin. They just lost their two best players. Of course, it's going to be a lot harder for you to win in the first round now. It's going to be a lot harder for you to win a game probably in the first round against the Western Conference teams this year. Yeah, of course, duh. No shit, bro. That's not rocket science, fam. I'm stating facts. Every team that is a title aspirations and have the best chance to win, I don't see the Lakers winning. So that's what you didn't answer my question, and you dodged my question because you're not a realistic person when it comes to the sports world or when it comes to the basketball season this year. Did you consider the Pacers a good team last season? Just last year, the last NBA Finals, the last time the NBA was in a playoff setting. I'm not going back too far. I'm just going back to the last time it happened. Did you consider the Indiana Pacers a good team? Answer that question for me, bro. And that's going to answer a whole lot of shit that you saying right now because you ain't making no sense. You basically telling me that in order to be a good team, you have to be a top 2 seed in both conferences. That makes 0 sense. Absolutely 0 sense. There's been plenty of good teams making it to the finals that don't be a top 3 seed, a top 2 seed. Or make it go far in the playoffs and they not a top 2 seed. You don't have to be a top 2 seed in order to be a good team. You make no sense. There's been plenty of teams that do that. And it could happen again this year. You said stop bringing up last year. I'm going off this year. If you're going off this year, then why in the hell did you bring up the Knicks beating the Nuggets in a 7-game series? Why did you bring that up? The only time you can bring that up is when we're talking about the playoffs. And I'm bringing up the last year that the playoffs happened, which was in a 7-game series. There hasn't been a 7-game series played this year, bro. There hasn't been one played. So I'm just going off the last time it happened. That's not hard to answer. How am I moving the goalposts? At the end of the day, the playoffs start 0-0 until someone wins the series. Yeah, exactly. 100%. And that's why I'm saying, like, you saying that good teams are only based off the top teams in the league. The top 2 seeds in both conferences. You can at least go off like the top 4 seeds or something like to say, because bro, if you're trying to literally tell me that the only good teams in the NBA are the top 2 seeds in both conferences, I'm not taking you serious. And I'm not taking you serious right now. I'm just trying to make you look even stupider than you sound. I'm sorry, but that's just what I'm doing because you're not making no logical sense. Timberwolves have been underperforming. Rockets can't handle crunch time, and the Pacers got lucky. But yo, bro, I'm sorry, bro. You sound so foolish right now. You sound so foolish, bro. This is crazy. I'm losing brain cells talking to you, bro. You said the Pacers got lucky. Brother, it is the NBA playoffs. You've seen moments happen in the NBA and in sports in general that don't happen that happen in the postseason that do not happen in the regular season almost every single year. You see that. Now you trying to tell me that the Pacers are lucky? Brother, they won multiple series. They didn't just win that series or just that game that you're specifically talking about. What? The Nuggets clear the Lakers. I don't care what but I mean, how can you say the Nuggets clear the Lakers? The only thing you can go off of is what happened this season so far. I mean, you can say the Nuggets clear the Lakers. That's fine. You can. But at the same time, if the Lakers play the Nuggets now, I mean, we're obviously going to lose because we don't have Luka or Austin. If you take the 2 best players off any team, even y'all, which y'all have the best record in the league right now, and y'all have a very good roster. Even if you take Shea and who you think y'all second best player is, I would go J-Dub. If you take Shea and J-Dub off the Thunder, they are not beating anybody in the playoff series. Any of the teams in the Western Conference, they're not beating nobody in the 7-game series. If they play against the Clippers or they play against the Suns or something like that, they're going to lose without Shea and J-Dub, right? And that's all I'm saying. Obviously, it's going to be, now, y'all might win a game, maybe 2, but you're not going to win the 7-game series. No team is going to win a series unless the other team gets hurt too. That's the only way I can see it. If you're playing against a very good playoff team, unless you're playing against some trash team that just snuck into the playoffs because maybe the other team's best player got hurt or something like that, okay, cool. Maybe. But even then, it's going to be hard as hell for you to win in that type of setting without your best players. It's just going to be hard to do that. Bro, y'all are not beating the Clippers or the Suns without Shea and J-Dub. Y'all not winning that series. Y'all not. You know you're not. You're not. Okay, prove me wrong. When does it ever happen in NBA history then? When has it ever happened? A perfect example of that is 2019. When KD and Clay, which wasn't their first and second best player, but I feel like that was their first and third best player at that time in the finals against the Raptors. Facts found. I'm not saying we have a chance, but anything can happen in the playoffs. 100%, especially if Luka and Austin come back in time. 100%. If he want to say that OKC got lucky because Hallie got hurt, there you go. There you go right there. Thank you, LA Lakers and Las Vegas Raiders. I appreciate you. That's a phenomenal point. And that's logical thinking. And that is actual smart. That's a smart person right there. That's somebody that's not being ignorant and actually thinking about what's actually going on instead of using their ego and just being sensitive about certain things. Because that's exactly what y'all doing. Hey bro, I'm live right now. I'm live on the basketball channel.
Oh shit! All right, man.
Nah, you good, bro. You good. I'll call you back as soon as I'm done. I'm almost done.
I'm gonna be on soon. I'm gonna get home in like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, bet. I'll get on. I'll join court.
I bet.
Okay. But yeah, that's it right there. If you want to say that Halliburton got lucky, then the Thunder got lucky because Halliburton literally was unable to finish Game 7 because he tore his Achilles. On top of all of that, Halliburton was going crazy in the first quarter, but he had like 10 points in the first quarter. So if you want to say that the Pacers got lucky and they had a finals run they'll never have again, which I completely disagree with, when the Pacers get healthy next season, and this is how I know, bro, like, y'all don't be actually analyzing the game, bro. Y'all just be ignorant. Y'all just be hating all the time. The Pacers traded for Zubac. In my opinion, Zubac is probably a better fit with them than Miles Turner is. They traded for Zubac. They'll be healthy next season. They got pretty much the same team. And then on top of that, they about to have a top 5 pick. They about to be just as good next season as they was last season. I don't see the Pacers being bad next year. If Halliburton is healthy, right? If he's actually healthy next season, and he's the same player he was last season or over his career so far, I see the Pacers being right back in the thick of things next year when it comes to being a top seed in the Eastern Conference, and they're going to be very good as a team next year. And if you want to sit up here and say that Halliburton got lucky last season because the Knicks choked, which that makes no sense because you have to play well in order to make a team choke, right? Then you got to say the OKC Thunder got lucky too because Halliburton was not even able to finish Game 7. He was going crazy against them. And Shea played bad in Game 7. So if Halliburton was going to continue playing the way he was and Shea was playing bad, you can't tell me the Pacers didn't have a legit shot at beating the Thunder. You can't tell me they didn't. That just doesn't make any sense. Thib, bro. Thib, I'm not listening to nothing you say about somebody being better than us because your ass was quiet as hell the last month until we played against y'all the other day. Because you said the Nuggets were better than us. You said the Timberwolves. You said the Rockets. You said all them teams are better than us. And we beat all them niggas. And your ass was quiet. You didn't say nothing. I'm not listening to you, bro. You was quiet as hell for a month. Well, no, you wasn't. You was still talking shit about the MVP when I clearly showed you that Luka's numbers were clearly better than Shea in every single statistical category. Every single month this season except for one. I showed you that as well. And Luka, according to y'all, bro, y'all are so weird to me because, and not this ain't, you ain't even included in this conversation, Mashing Buddy, because I don't even know your take on this when it comes to MVP. But people like you, Thib, you swear the Lakers are so trash. You swear they roster is so bad, and they're just this terrible team. Then how in the hell do they have 50 wins and Luka putting up the numbers he's putting up and he's not the MVP? Y'all team is good. Y'all team was winning without Shea. The Lakers are a 500 team without Luka this year. Y'all was winning games without Shea though. And you sitting up here trying to tell me y'all can win a playoff series without your MVP. If he's really the MVP, then y'all wouldn't be able to beat no team in the Western Conference in the playoff series. You contradicting yourself. If Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is actually the most valuable player of the NBA, then the Thunder would not be able to win a series without him and J-Dub. If you saying that they can, then he's not the most valuable player. And that just goes to prove my point even more. Like, Luka's already outplaying him in every single statistical category. He's scoring more, assisting more, rebounding more on a worse team in from your perspective, on a much worse team. So, where is your logic behind Shea being the MVP besides you liking his IG post? Besides you being a fan of liking his quotes after the game? Besides you liking him putting up pictures on IG of wearing certain fits? Where is your actual logic behind him being the most valuable player in the NBA? Where is it? Now, last season he was, in my opinion. I was rocking right with you. So you can't say I don't like Shea. When I felt like Shea was the MVP last year, I was rocking with him. I was telling you the whole season, the whole time, when people were like, oh, it's Jokic, he's averaging a triple-double. The Nuggets it wouldn't be nothing without him. When people were saying that shit, what was I saying the whole time? Shea should win MVP. So you can't say I don't like the man. Because the whole season last year, I was saying he should. But now this year, I feel like it should have been Luka. So you can't say I'm biased or anything like that. Don't jinx my team. I'm not jinxing nobody. I'm just telling you what it is. I ain't jinxing nobody. I don't wish injury upon nobody. Yo ass weird as fuck in the Discord. When Reaves' injury got revealed, yo receding hairline having as the first thing you said was he's faking the injury. What? We talking shit about players getting injured now, but when Bo Nix got hurt for the Broncos, your first reaction was, man, we would have beat the Patriots if Bo Nix played. You so damn fake, boy. It don't make no sense. Y'all niggas got to be better, bro. Y'all got to be better, bro. It's that simple. Y'all got to be better. LA Index, I actually watched basketball and watched like a coach because if you notice, the Pacers had OKC on the ropes the whole series. 100%. That's why they took them to 7 games. Bro, I don't care what nobody say. It's a Thunder fan in the chat right now. He's sensitive as hell. That when you say something, if you criticize or critique the Thunder at all, he is going to get personal, right? I said it 100,000 times. If Halliburton finished that series healthy, if he finished Game 7 healthy, I thought the Pacers would have won. Bro, you know a player about to go crazy in a game, especially in a playoff game like that, when the emotions and all of the fans or everything is just so high. The pressure is high, emotions high. First quarter, elite defenders all over the court. Halliburton just pinning them up against the wall and saying, "Give me your lunch money." In OKC, talking shit to the fans, talking shit to the crowd. It don't matter. He talking crazy. He going to the timeout, talking crazy. The commentators going crazy. He already got 10 within the first few minutes of the first quarter. And then he go down in at the end of the first quarter. You can't tell me, bro, if Halliburton didn't stay healthy, they wouldn't have won that series. I just don't believe it. Now, ultimately, OKC did win the game, but obviously it was a huge part the reason why they did win the game when Halliburton got hurt. If you can't say nothing nice about OKC, don't speak on them. Bro, you can't say that shit to nobody. You literally talk shit about every team except for your team. Ain't nobody listening to you, dude. Ain't nobody trying to take no advice from you, bro. Half of the time you talk about sports, you being ignorant. I'm not listening to you. When have you ever gave somebody credit about being good or another team? I'm not listening to you, my nigga. If I listen to anybody, it's definitely not going to be you. The Pacers got blasted in Game 7. Oh, rocket science. The team in the NBA Finals loses their best player. Oh yeah, and then they get beat out. They get destroyed after. It makes a lot of sense. Even though you went to Game 7 with your team healthy, when you lose your best player, oh my God, it's a blowout. No, that couldn't have happened. That couldn't have happened. What? Did that actually happen? Man, that's rocket science. I couldn't learn that. I don't know. I don't know if I can grasp that with my mind. No shit, bro. No shit, y'all pulled away when their best player got hurt. They mad and upset about Hallie getting injured. That's first thing. So your mental state all off. If you actually think about that part. And then on top of that, they lost their best player. Of course you're going to be losing that game. That's not hard to comprehend, bro. Of course. You told me Shea been MVP because you're just a fan of the team. Just like at the beginning of the season, nobody knew who the MVP was going to be. I still had Luka winning because I think he's that good. And And then on top of all of that, he got his body into incredible shape, and he's having a phenomenal season. And the Lakers are a top 3 seed in the Western Conference, and he's having a better statistical season over Shea. You have no logical sense behind why you think Shea is the MVP of the league. All you keep saying is Shea is the MVP. That's all you keep saying. Nobody has actually reason why they think Shea is the MVP over Luka. Because OKC has won games, a lot of games without Shea this season. So, of course, obviously the OKC record is better. That's fine. That don't always mean anything, though, because you had MVPs be the 4th seed in the Western Conference or the Eastern Conference or whatever. You don't have to necessarily be the 1st seed every single year to be MVP. It ain't like Shea is just averaging better numbers across the board than all these other players. He's not. I agree. OKC got lucky because Hallie got injured. I always say that, and niggas get mad. Hey, it's the truth. It's the truth, bro. OKC got lucky. They got lucky. The best player on the Pacers hurt himself in a game, bro, in the most important game of the entire NBA season. They took y'all to 7 games when y'all was supposed to be an overwhelming favorite, right? They were beating y'all when he went out the game, and he was going crazy when he went out the game. You trying to tell me y'all didn't get lucky? It's hard to be real for 2 seconds, bro. It's cool. You can do it. That's cool, bro. Yeah, you for sure. That's cool. Y'all did. Lou Dort Magna ball game and shit like that. That's fine, bro. That still ain't got nothing to do with what I'm telling you. You still being weird as hell towards a player getting injured. That still don't take away from the fact of Luka Doncic outplaying Shea this season. That doesn't change anything. Y'all definitely did beat us down, though. That's cool. I wasn't even worried about that. I was worried about Luka injury status. And now I didn't even know Austin was hurt as bad as he was, but it makes sense because he continued to grab his back the whole entire first half. The whole entire end of first quarter, second quarter, until he went to the locker room. You said fact some Thunder fans are some weirdos because that fan was talking shit to Luka while he was on the ground. That's it. Yeah, they weird. They not used to winning nothing. They not used to winning nothing because they've been so trash for all these years. They finally won their first NBA championship just last season in their entire existence, and now they don't know how to act. You got this dumbass, you got this idiot box on the sideline that probably ain't never touched any type of organized sport in his life. Telling Luka, now you understand what it's like to play defense. Hey, dumbass, Luka had the ball in his hand playing offense when he got injured. What does that have to do with him being on the ground with a hurt hamstring? This man said, now you understand what it's like to play defense. Bro, what? He wasn't even playing defense when he got hurt. Like, these people are so stupid, bro. It's actually insane. All right, chat. Let me ask y'all a question because this dude right here does not understand and comprehend actual like realism. If I am minorly hurt, which most athletes are when they go through a whole entire regular season and a whole entire playoff season, pretty much when it comes to Halliburton and the Pacers, when they go through that many games, bro, I guarantee you 0% of players are 100% healthy. So if you have something that's continuously nagging at you, like for example, and I'm gonna finish my point, Jaylen Brown just said a couple years ago he could barely even dribble with his left hand because he had surgery twice on his left wrist, and people didn't even know about that until yesterday when he revealed it, or the last couple of days when he revealed it in an interview with Brian Scalabrine. So nobody knew about that until he just said it, which makes a lot of sense. He even showed the scar on his hand. So that's the reason why he couldn't dribble with his left hand. So what my point is, players go through injuries and are hurt all the time throughout the season. That doesn't necessarily mean it's reported all the time, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to play bad. But if a player is slightly hurt in a certain area and you are playing in the most important game of your life, you trying to tell me, bro, I'm going to just go sit down, bro. I don't want to risk injury. What kind of soft shit is that? Why do you keep saying that? If you're in that situation playing for all the marbles, you just going to go sit down? Who going to do that? Who would go sit down when you are playing in the most important game of your life? This is what you play for. It ain't like this is just a regular season game on a random Wednesday. It's the NBA Finals Game 7, and you trying to tell me you expected that man to go sit down? That's your logic? What's your logic behind that? Bro, you stupid and I think you are if you actually think that. And if you don't think that, then you fake because you continue to say it. Red, what state Halliburton played college in? I heard he got a lot of corn. Now, he not trolling, Kevin. I know this dude. He say this all the time. He's not trolling. He's just stupid. This dude, I don't know if he has a brain. He's supposed to because I think he went to college. But when it comes to sports, I don't know if he has like an actual logical sense of mind when it comes to sports. This dude is ignorant as hell and he don't have any logical takes behind anything. He called Shingun dirty. This man called Alperen Shingun dirty for getting kicked out of a game when all he did was, which was still was not cool. But usually when you call a player dirty, he does something to injure another player. He called the referee a bitch and got kicked out the game, and he called the man dirty because he don't have no logical sense of pay attention to what's actually going on. And that's why most of the time, that's why I'm talking like this. I'm being ignorant back because when you give me ignorant energy, I'm gonna give you ignorant energy. That's the energy you giving to me. That's how it should be. So that's all I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense around what you're saying. He's not trolling, bro. He says this all the time. I know this guy. We're not talking about Shea winning MVP. We're talking about Halliburton and y'all winning the finals last year when you got lucky. And you see these people in this chat. You see, I'm not the only one saying that. It's multiple people in this chat saying that. I'm not making none of these grown people, these beautiful people in this chat say anything that I'm saying. People have their own train of thought. Just like the other dude that just came in here not making no sense. I don't even know if he's still in here. Probably not. You said, did you read my comment? What you say, bro? I didn't see it. Which one? Who said that? LA Dodgers blue 580. LA Dodgers. Okay, I got you. I think the Lakers will. I didn't even see all of that. I skipped a lot of comments. That's me. I didn't even know you was in here. I think the Lakers will win in playoffs. They need to play together as a team, but this sucks that Austin Reaves is out and Luka will still believe in this team. Let's go Lakers. I mean, bro, like, that's the positive mindset to have, bro. But like I was saying earlier, I don't know if the Lakers will be able to win a playoff series. Now, they might be able to win a game or two. Maybe Bron go crazy. Maybe you have some great shooting games and you got a good game plan for a couple games. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's about stars for the most part. Like, your stars have to outperform the other team's stars if you want to win in playoff series. Now, most of the time it doesn't come down to that, but your stars have to play well, and maybe your role players can be the difference. But you need star players in order to win in the NBA. In the NBA this type of in today's age of the NBA, you need good star players in order to win. I mean, you always really have had to have that, but now you need it more than ever because role players are so good now. You got some role players that are just as good as stars. So if the other team's role players are better, your stars have to play good. Your stars have to outperform the other team's best stars in order for you to have a chance. The Lakers aren't deep enough. Their superpower is their star power on this team. Luka, Reaves, Bron, you would have to depend on them heavily. And you got to depend on your other role players that are good, Smart, Aiden at times, Kennard, Laravia. You got to depend, Rui. You got to depend on these guys, Hayes at times. You got to depend on these guys to make the right plays at the right time or make timely plays. But your stars are so good that they really can carry you through a lot of stuff. That's why the Lakers got 50 wins. It ain't because they got an extremely deep team. We've been knowing that. That's why all the videos I've talked about the whole season before the deadline, certain players they should target. We've been saying this the whole entire time, right? So this ain't rocket science to us realists. It ain't rocket science. It ain't rocket science for us. I bet everyone was waiting for the Lakers to fall apart to start talking. They can't make this up. Exactly. Now all these idiots, all they gonna say is, oh, they wasn't doing nothing anyways. Oh, it's not like they were doing it in the first place. They wasn't gonna win nothing in the first place. And that's the most annoying part because when the Lakers have been winning and beating all these good teams as of late, they were quiet. You didn't hear a peep out of these people. Where y'all was at? Where you was at then? You wasn't saying nothing. When they finally got hurt and got a little chemistry, remember the first argument was they were trying to break up the team. Oh, the Lakers are better without LeBron. Oh my God, they beat the Timberwolves and the Knicks without LeBron. They're better without LeBron. Then LeBron come back and they started playing well. I mean, bro, it was quiet as a church house mouse. It was quiet in the setting on a quiet place, bro. You would have thought we was in that movie. It was so quiet. You ain't hear nothing. right? But now all they're gonna say is, oh, they wasn't doing it in the first place. That's all they're gonna say now, and that's the most annoying part. Because you got teams like I keep bringing this up, bro, because it's so true. The Indiana Pacers just last season they were playing great basketball at the right time, and they went all the way to the finals and was one game away from winning. Nobody suspected the Pacers to go to the finals last year, but they made timely plays and they won the champion. They almost won the championship. All right, let's get into some more of y'all's comments right quick. Hey, as y'all coming in, y'all be sure to drop a like on the stream, subscribe if y'all new, man. We post Lakers content all the time. We go live after every single game. A lot of stuff coming up in the off season as well. So yeah, if y'all like the Lakers content, man, consistently on the channel, y'all be sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the live stream so to push this mud out to more people. LA Index, of course, unfortunately, every time when a chip from a star player injury or a good rotation player missing. The Lakers did win the 2020 NBA championship without A.B. Bradley. A.B. Bradley, and I know a lot of people gonna be like, bro, A.B. Bradley, but like once again, if you were paying attention, A.B. Bradley was a starter on that team for a reason. He was the best on-ball defender on that team. I mean, he was giving opposing point guards and other guards hell defensively. And then he was capable of knocking down threes. Like one of the games before the All-Star break, he had a 6 3-point, he made 6 3-point shots against the LA Clippers. He was a very important part to that team. So the Lakers won in 2020 without a very important role player. A lot of people forget about that, but Avery Bradley did not play in the bubble. I think it was against like his religion beliefs or something like that, to get like a vaccine, and then you couldn't go in the bubble without the vaccine. So he didn't want to get the vaccine, which is fine with me. I'm cool with that. But you know, the Lakers had to win without him, and they did. But I mean, he wasn't like a star player or nothing like that, but he was a starter. He was important to the team. If you actually sit up here and you serious about you wouldn't play in a game 7 for all the marbles because you have a calf strain that you feel like you can play through, yeah, bro, you weird. It makes you even weirder. Let's go, Lakers solid show. Let's get it, man. I appreciate you watching. It was a game 7, dummy. You think he was going to sit down? Oh, you talking about this? That's exact. I've been telling this same guy this over the last like year. He been saying the same thing. This idiot really thinks that just because you got something not as major as an actual Achilles tear, that you're gonna sit down and not play in the game 7 of the most important game of the NBA season, of the most important game of your life. These guys are professional basketball players. They play, most of them play to win championships, to try to solidify themselves in NBA history. And you trying to tell me you just gonna sit down because you don't want to risk an injury? Man, say, bro. That's the way I'll be looking at this dude. The way I'm looking at the camera, bro, that's how I'll be looking like when you be saying this dumb shit. Because it's like, bro, like, what are we saying, bro? These dudes are professional basketball players. This is their profession. You trying to tell me you gonna sit down and not play in the game because you don't want to risk an injury? What? What are you talking about? It's terrible. No Luka or Reaves. My phone show is going off a lot. Chat, who y'all think gonna start tomorrow for the Lakers? Or who y'all think gonna start these last couple games going into the playoffs? Who y'all think gonna be the starting 5? Lakers are 15-2 in March. They beat solid teams. Lakers haters say we beat trash teams. Yeah, like the dude that just came here just a minute ago. He said he's a fan of the Lakers, but he said none of the teams we played against, other than the Nuggets, have been good in March that we beat. And according to him, the only good teams in the NBA are the top 2 seeds in both conferences. He was even calling the Knicks trash. He called the Timberwolves trash. He called the Rockets trash. He called all these teams trash. But he said he was realistic. It's hard to conversate with some people. They just don't make any logical sense behind nothing they say. Tell them come talk in person. Here, like what I tell you. Did I say it earlier? I can go back and clip it. When you start critiquing the Thunder, this man get personal. This man said, come tell me in person. All right, dude. You gonna put somebody down because they don't agree with about the fucking OKC Thunder, bro? You so sensitive. Why you so sensitive? Why you so sensitive about the Thunder, bro? You know it's okay to critique a team, right? Like you said, like you just said earlier about y'all beating us on Thursday. I can't say nothing about y'all beat the brakes off us. That's why I was telling you during the game, we'll see y'all next week. And I was hoping that Luka and Austin would have been healthy, obviously. Because y'all was playing amazing and we were just playing bad that game. It happens. But at the same time, like, I wasn't getting mad about us losing. I was just saying, like, y'all got us tonight. We're going to beat y'all next week. Am I getting sensitive about, like, I wasn't even getting mad about you even saying Shea is the MVP. I was just showing you stats and stuff like that, showing you why Luka should be MVP over Shea. You get too personal about this stuff, bro. We ain't on no payroll. Well, most of us ain't. I mean to say, unfortunately, every team win a championship from a team having an injury star player. That's how it be. That's how it be. Injuries are a part of the game. Unfortunately, yeah, I agree. I agree. It's definitely unfortunate. And this situation that's happening with the Lakers right now, with their best two players getting hurt right now, with the way that they've been playing as of late, it's extremely unfortunate, man. Extremely unfortunate. What's your ego against me? I haven't even been doing nothing to you. What are you talking about, bro? I don't have no ego against you. I mean, you have been weird as hell in the past, and I seek out. I can like sense like when people are being like weird, and I don't really mess with that. But I don't have an ego towards you. But a lot of the stuff you say, I don't take serious because I don't think you have good intentions about most of the stuff you say. Like in the Discord earlier, you brought up some weird shit talking about Red has watched the Lakers all season, all 82 games, just for them to not be healthy in the playoffs. What is that even supposed to mean? What is that even supposed to mean, bro? What is that? You're telling me I watched them all season just for them to be hurt in the playoffs? What am I supposed to change something about that? What is that? That's weird to me. What is that supposed to mean? Lakers index, I rock with you all day, bro. I would pin this shit if I could. Actually, I think I can. Hold up. I can. I appreciate the positivity, man. I appreciate that. All right, let me hop into y'all's last couple questions and comments, chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. But I just seen the title. Bronny about to drop a 30-point triple double. I mean, we about to be able to see Bronny play a lot more minutes. We probably gonna see Kobe Buffkin play minutes as well because the Lakers are about to be missing 3 ball handlers. They about to be missing Marcus Smart. He's not playing tomorrow. Luka and Austin are obviously out tomorrow as well and out for the rest of the regular season. So it's gonna have to be a whole lot of probably Kobe Buffkin, Bronny James, Adu Thiero, maybe even Dalton Connect will probably come off the bench now. Dalton Connect might be getting some minutes now because I know he just played very, very well yesterday in that G League playoff game. Now I know it's the G League, but still though, like when a player's confidence is high, like you might want to kind of try to ride that hot hand to kind of see if he can kind of bring that over into the regular season or to the actual games. But we'll see. But yeah, Reaves is out for 4 to 6 weeks, bro, with an oblique strain. He is out for 4 to 6 weeks, and he probably won't play at all in the first round. So maybe something else different will happen. Maybe he'll come back sooner, but we'll see. No, we gonna have a cordial conversation on why I think Shea the GOAT and Luka not MVP. There is no conversation you can have right now that's logical that you're thinking Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is the greatest player of all time with 1 championship and 1 finals MVP and 1 NBA finals MVP. There's too many. There's players currently playing in the NBA right now that have done more than Shea and that are better overall players than Shea. Jokic. If you saying Shea is the GOAT, Jokic is the GOAT. Has a GOAT case over him. Jokic has 3 MVPs. Or does he have 4? I know he got 3 for sure. He got an NBA championship and he got a finals MVP. Like individually, he's done more than Shea. Shea has no credibility to being the GOAT right now. Now, when his career ends, I still don't think he'll be the GOAT because LeBron has done so much and Shea is not catching some of the records and the things LeBron has done. So he won't have a GOAT case. I don't think so. Does he have a case to be the best player in the world right now? 100%. He definitely got that. Does he have a case to be MVP this season? 100% he got that. Does he have a case? I just said that, but he legitimately has a case to be the best player in the league right now. And he legitimately has a case to be the MVP this season because of how good he is playing this year and because of how good the Thunder are when he has been playing. But at the same time, Luka, in my opinion, has a greater case to be the MVP because he's outplaying Shea in every category. Let's go to it right quick. He's outplaying Shea in every category for every month this season except for like one. I mean, like, so you really don't have a legitimate, where's the post at? Here you go. You really don't have a legitimate reason on why Shea is the MVP this season, other than the fact that you're a Thunder fan and you think he should win. Because if you do, I would like to hear it. But like when I say, when I look at stuff like this, and then the Lakers are the third seed in the Western Conference, they won 50 games with Luka, right? Luka in October, he has better stats than Shea, better statistics, all around, like across the entire board, except for steals in that month. He beat him in every category but one. In this month right here, he beat him in every category. He beat him in every category in November. In December, he pretty much beat him in every category. Well, at 2-2, so that's an even month that month. In January, he beat him in every category. In February, Shea won in that category, in most categories. Luka did not play well in February. He didn't. And then he got hurt too. I think he was trying to play through an injury. But that's when he hurt his calf in February. And he didn't play the whole season. He didn't play the whole month of February either because of the calf injury. In the month of March, Luka outplayed Shea. It wasn't even close in the month of March. And Luka won Player of the Month in the month of March in the Western Conference. He outscored him by almost 7 points per game, almost 4 rebounds a game. Well, 4 rebounds, almost 5 rebounds a game. He averaged more assists and he averaged more steals. So y'all over here saying Luka don't play defense. He averaged more steals than Shea on the season. So you don't have a legitimate case on why you think Shea should win MVP. Luka has outplayed this nigga in every month but February. What is your legit case on why Shea should win? Other than the voters have a favoritism towards certain players over Luka. Like, this is going to be one of my last points, chat, and I'm going to go ahead and end my live stream for today. But absolute W show today. Appreciate y'all for showing love and support, man. It absolute sucks what's going on with the Lakers. But I appreciate y'all supporting the channel regardless because it means a lot to me. But just in general, Fred VanVleet was on somebody's podcast over the last couple of days. And this guy plays for the Houston Rockets. He has no bias for the Lakers or the Spurs or the Thunder. He ain't got no bias towards none of these teams. He wants his team to win. He wants his team to continue winning until he can come back. He said himself that he doesn't understand why Wemby ascends in the MVP rankings, according to NBA.com, that I talked about in one of my previous videos the last couple of days about why Luka should win MVP. This man Wemby go out to a post-game press conference. He says why he should win MVP, and he goes up in the standings. Luka is playing better than any player in the league right now, and he goes down in the standings? And this ain't even my saying. This is Fred VanVleet, the starting point guard, if he's not injured, for the Houston Rockets. He said that. He don't have nothing to do with neither one of these teams. He don't care about our teams. He cares about his team only. But that's his take, because that's how you know it's the truth. How does Luka go down in the MVP standings and he's playing better than every single player in the league right now? But Wemby goes up because he wants to say something after a game about why he should win MVP. What? Come on, man. That don't make no sense. You don't have no logical sense behind your take. And you were making fun of a player being injured. That is the epitome of being weird. You are weird, nigga. If you making fun of a professional athlete for being injured, you are weird. I don't care what nobody say. You weird? Anybody else that do that weird? Weird. If you making fun of another grown adult professional basketball player, football player, baseball player, whatever. If you making fun or playing on a player to get injured, you are weird. And that's just the fact of the matter. And that shit ain't gonna change until you stop doing it. It's just that simple. It's called Opinions. Thank you for putting him in his place. The casual rookies, the clown saying Luka and Reaves faking injuries. I can't stand the Clippers and Knicks. If Kawhi and Brunson were hurt. Hold on. If Kawhi and Brunson was hurt, I would say they were hurt, not faking injuries. I'm objective. 100%. Like, I can't stand the Golden State Warriors. I cannot stand the Warriors. They set illegal screens. They won fake championships, in my opinion, with the Cavaliers, when they didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love. I cannot stand the Warriors. But when they got hurt in 2019, I say it all the time. The Raptors got lucky because the Warriors would have won another championship. Steph Curry would have 5 rings already if it wasn't for Clay and KD getting hurt in 2019. I said that's the truth. That's the real, bro. That is the truth. The Warriors were so much better than the Raptors. The Raptors were not beating them if they were healthy. And it's just that simple. Right? I'm not making fun of them being hurt, though. I'm telling you the truth about what would have happened if they were healthy. I'm not making fun of Clay getting hurt because I don't like the Warriors. I'm not making fun of who else got hurt? KD getting hurt because I don't like the Warriors when he played for them. I don't like KD for making that move either, but I still wasn't making fun of them for faking an injury, quote unquote, because they were losing. That's weird activity, bro. I appreciate that, dog. I appreciate that for sure. I definitely feel that though about the debating in the barbershop. Yeah, that's what it be. That's what it feel like to me most of the time because I can't stand when people talk about sports that don't pay attention or like. You can have your opinion. I've had conversations with plenty of people that have actual logical opinions about why they think this and that. Most people have opinions on stuff because they don't like this person or they don't like this or they envy these certain things. And that's where my respect just goes completely out the window. I don't care about, I'm not listening to what you say if you don't have no logical reasoning behind why you think certain things. Now you can have your opinion. But when bro came in here earlier talking about he a Lakers fan, but the Lakers ain't beat no good teams in March but the Denver Nuggets, I'm supposed to respect that take. I'm supposed to respect that opinion. I'm not, because that doesn't make any sense. If you're trying to sit up here and tell me the Denver Nuggets, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Houston Rockets, the New York Knicks, and some of these other teams the Lakers have beaten, Orlando Magic, the Miami Heat, you trying to tell me all these teams are trash? Trash, bro? Yeah, I'm not listening to that. I don't respect those type of takes. Drop Shea in the 90s. He ain't getting away with the bullshit he dropped. Stop. I ain't gonna lie. You might be right. I ain't gonna lie. Shea is known to be like the biggest flopper in the NBA. Like, bro, another star player has said it. Jaylen Brown has said it. There's been other players that say Shea flops a lot. He's a foul baiter. Like, people have said those things, right? So Shea is known to do that. He's known to be that. Does that take away from how great Shea is? No, it doesn't. I don't care. Shea is still a great player to me. I'm just telling you what players look at him as and what he's looked at in the general perception of the fans of the league, the players in the league, and things of that nature. If you touch Shea, it's a foul. If Shea do that, if he go up and shoot the ball and he do this, it's a foul. So I'm just going off what people say. That's just the truth. When did I make fun of him? When did you make fun of him? All right. You want me to go back in Discord and show you? Because I can. Your first comments was niggas faking injuries because they lost. That was your first comment. Let me see. That's that weird ass comment from That's Me right there. Hold on. Look. This one we said. Oh, all right. Do I already have it up? I already got it up, right? Okay. I already got it up. You said right here. We faking injuries now. Motherfuckers clinch the playoffs now and they don't care about the regular season. First round exit. He already plays like shit in the postseason. And he the last one to be sitting out. That's what you said. And you got laughing faces. That's exactly what you was doing. You making fun of him. You said he faking an injury. That's weird. That is weird. And during the game, if you watch the game, he was holding his back almost the entire first half, bro. I think at like midway through the first quarter. I'm sorry, not the first half, the first quarter, maybe a little bit in the second quarter before he went into the locker room. He actually left the game and went into the locker room because he kept holding his back. or holding this side area. I don't even know where the oblique muscle is. I don't even know where it is, but obviously it's got to be around here somewhere or somewhere on his body somewhere to where he was holding his side and his back the whole time. The man ain't faking. That's all I know. No. You telling me, Cope, you stealing my stuff in the first place. Nah, that's not making fun of nobody. But I just showed you where you making fun of Austin Reaves at. You literally said the man is faking injuries. And you said we faking injuries, so I guess you saying Luka faking too? That's weird. I agree. The Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton back being a very good team. They're going to be the Pacers are going to be very good next season. Mark my words, right? I'm telling you this right now. April 4, 2026, the Pacers will be, well, I'm gonna say this. If Halliburton is healthy, if Halliburton is back, which he should be, if he's back next season, they will be good next year. They're still gonna have Siakam. They're still gonna have Andrew Nembhard. They're still gonna have Aaron Nesmith. They're still gonna have Obi Toppin. They got Zubac now. They're going to have a top 5 draft pick. And Halliburton to be back too. And they have some other pretty decent role players coming off their bench as well. So, and you never know. They might even do something this offseason to make a trade or pick somebody else up in unrestricted free agency or something like that. Like, they'll be good. They'll be good next year. I like Shea better on OKC. I won big on him before that. With the Clippers, he wasn't when he came into the league, he wasn't the guy. And that's another difference between him and Luka, in my opinion, and some of these other guys. Like, they didn't come into the league as the guy. The pressure ain't as high when they first come in. He did show flashes of he can be good when he was younger, but obviously he's took a whole nother step. He's insanely good now. Oh, he was holding his hip. I thought he was holding up higher. I know he was holding something on his side. He kept doing it. I thought he was holding his back, bro, because he was even like stooping over, walking, like running down the court one time, like he was in pain. And I kept saying, like, bro, if you hurt, go sit down. This game is not that important. But oh damn, we've been live for 2 hours. Sheesh. All right, chat. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on. This is my longest live stream. Nah, it's not. It's the NBA trade deadline. But yeah, W stream, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for hopping in here with me. Even though we got some absolute terrible news today, this was a great live stream. Hopefully the Lakers can finish the season off strong. And who knows, maybe a miracle can happen, man. And Luka and Austin will be back for the first round of the playoffs. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Now, I don't know what type of shape they'll be in. I don't know if they'll be out of shape. If they'll be rusty. But I still would like our chances going into the playoffs if our team is healthy. So, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. If y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the live stream. I will catch you guys tomorrow after the Lakers and Mavericks game. We'll be able to know a lot more about who's going to be starting. We'll be talking about the rotations, what players play how minutes, and it's going to be up to LeBron to finish off the season and take this team to the playoffs, or finish the season off strong going into the playoffs. But yeah.